Well, I had I had notification that I had a couple of comments awaiting approval because they got links to other stuff on there, and need to look at it before approving the comment. Now, this is from the War Suron. Don't know what that is, but I suspect people that like a bit of video gaming might know what that is. And he sent me loads of links here to all this sort of 5G stuff. I can also send you the emails I've received from Dr. Persinger, creator of the God Helmet. I wonder if someone else has made an atheist helmet, who agreed with my assertion that the use of psychotronic weapons could be the very end of what it even means to be human. Check out my YouTube video about the targeted individual program, no such thing, and neutral hacking. Also these videos talking about the subject. Yeah, okay. Well, I said I wasn't going to do anything on targeted individuals, and I'm not really going to go down that path because I think there's no such thing. No government agency is going to spend a lot of time and money targeting individuals. What would be the point of it? If you're a targeted individual, what makes you so special that a government or some sort of organisation would spend time and money targeting you? What is their end game? You know, what would be the point of it exactly? So this fella said that military applications of the 5G grid, they've already used a directed energy weapon against pigs in South Korea. Yeah, okay. So this is probably going to be a lot of links to with the same sort of credibility as the sort of stuff you'd find in Nexus magazine, but let's just have a look at this. There's one of the links. "5G keeping uninvited attendees at bay." Oh God, I hate this bloody flicking around during the Winter Olympics. Nonsense. 5G made its international debut at the 2018 Olympic Games in Pyongyang, South Korea. While thousands of attendees get to utilise its real-time speed and other innovative features, humans aren't the only ones to receive this hands-on experience with the network. 5G is also being used to deter wild boars roaming the mountains around Pyeongchang Stadium and other locations where Olympic festivities are occurring. South Korea contains a wild boar population. God, this is hard work. South Korea contains a wild boar population, tens of thousands that wreak havoc on crop fields, potentially threaten the safety of Olympic tourists. I don't quite know what ECN Mag is or how much credibility this magazine might have. 3 people have been killed and 21 injured in wild boar attacks between 2012 and 2016. Different methods, electric fences to and hunting to keep the boars at bay. Companies, oh for goodness sake. Companies like KT, Ericsson, Samsung heavily involved in Pyeongchang 5-day unveiling. The engineers realised that wild boars are very intelligent creatures which require smarter technology to effectively deter them. KT in particular has been working on deterring wild boar populations using the network. 5G enabled technology has been used to scare away wild boars that come within close range of the Olympic festivities using fast acting systems. Oh, okay. So it hasn't been used to kill wild pigs at all, wild boars. It's been used to scare them away. Fast-acting systems that shoot rays, gases and emit tiger roars. 5G's ability to relay information in real time allows the network to surpass the capabilities of 4G, and several farmers in the Pyeongchang region hope this technology could help improve their livelihood so they don't have to rely on the current ineffective methods that aim at combating wild boar populations. Okay, so what they're actually doing is they're using, it's 5G enabled technology. So whatever the technology is that they're actually using on the pigs, whether it's, you know, sound or whether it's gas or rays of some kind, tiger roars, they're actually being triggered by the 5G device. So, you know, much in the way that a terrorist might use a mobile phone, 4G, 3G, CDMA or anything else, to trigger a bomb just by dialing the number, the 5G device is being used to just activate one of these devices to scare the pigs away. So there's no death rays coming from the 5G system that's killing pigs. That's just codswallop. I don't know whether these people... antenna array testing conducted over the air, the way to go. 5G, Roden Schwartz. You know, these people, Roden Schwartz, of course, is a huge professional RF company, make a lot of RF test equipment, broadcasting equipment. Okay, so I think we can. We don't. This is not 5G, microwave energy killing. It's not using 5G as a directed energy weapon. Oh, he's saying against pigs, okay, but it's not the 5G that's being used as a directed energy weapon. It's basically being used as a radio control to operate some equipment that make a noise, or, you know, make a tiger roar or make a smell or something that drives the pigs away. So we can put a line through that one. That's nonsense. Got nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. You could trigger that with UHF-CB, with any kind of remote control system. Psychotronic. Oh God, here we go. Again, what's this? Global research. Does this outfit have any credibility, or is this another Nexus type thing? Remote control of the human nervous system. Well, in the 1960s, electromagnetic waves were used to transmit simple sounds into the human brain. However, most of them avoided saying that, since extensive scientific research has been carried out in this area. Only a Colombian newspaper published an article covering the whole scale of the achievements. Britain's Daily Mail. Another exception, wrote research in electromagnetic weapons has been secretly carried out. Yeah, but this is all completely irrelevant with regard 5G. The power levels and frequencies used with 5G aren't going to be able to do any of this stuff. And remember that 5G, the higher in frequency you go, the less penetrating power the signals have. So 5G is going to be far safer than 4G in this regard. 3G and CDMA would penetrate your head far more easily than 5G ever would. Get rid of that one. Yeah, most of this is just paranoid rubbish. Psychotronic weapons. Obliging the American president engaged in negotiations aimed at the ban of space-based weapons. They're not going to be able to control anyone from space. That's just completely nonsense. Drivel. It's feasible to manipulate human behaviour with the use of subliminal sound or visual messages is now generally known. We've only got to watch Darren Brown to see that it's pretty easy to manipulate people. I think I'll probably okay this comment, to be honest. I can't be bothered to read all of this. Many biological effects observed in animals exposed to ELF fields appear to be associated either directly or indirectly with the nervous system. Well, ELF has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. Nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. Technically capable influence influence directly the major portion of the 6 billion brains without mediation through classical sensory modalities by generating neural information within a physical medium. All members of the species are immersed. Is now marginally feasible. Yeah, science fiction hogwash. They're going to be brainwashing themselves, of course, unless they're all going to be wearing tinfoil-lined crash helmets when they switch this thing on from if all this psychotronic mind control was possible, why do you think, Mr. Warson, I think it is, why do you think people like yourself and Mark Steele are complaining about this? You know, if Mark Steele says all the lampposts are radiating this 5G is all mind control, it's a weapon, why isn't it controlling him to shut up about it and say, yeah, sorry, I was wrong? It's all nonsense. This is all paranoid rubbish. It might give you a laugh, maybe. Prepare for change. Your cell phone is a psychotronic weapon. Drivel. Ask any of these people if they have a mobile phone. Does Mark Steele have a mobile phone? Didn't I see on his desk 2 mobile phones? Does Mr. Warson have a mobile phone? Electromagnetic energy can be produced and directed to influence human moods, thoughts and bodily functions. Psychotronic weaponry or psychotronics. Psychotronic weaponry utilises electromagnetic energy frequencies primarily in the extremely low frequency range 3 to 30 Hertz. Again, nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. 5G's microwave. The range of electromagnetic energy in the human brain naturally sends and receives electromagnetic fields in the very low frequency 3 to 30 kilohertz, super low frequency SLF 30 to 300 hertz ranges, and can also have psychotronic effects. Okay, so nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. Wouldn't even matter if you modulated these low frequencies onto the 5G microwave signal, because it's the microwave signal that would have to penetrate your skull, and it's not going to do that. As I said before, previous generations of mobile phones are much lower frequency, much longer wavelengths. They're going to have much better penetrating power into your head than 5G ever would. Was DARPA. Six paths to non-surgical future of brain-machine interfaces. Pursue a mix of approaches in developing wearable interfaces for communicating with the brain. I think this is probably why the F-35 isn't flying, isn't it? It's supposed to have some sort of... the pilot is supposed to be able to direct it by thought. I don't think that actually works. But it's going to be something like that. I certainly wouldn't want something like that connecting me to my car. You know, I want to think turn left and turn right. What if I sort of drift off? You know, I start thinking about something else. You know, what's going to happen to where's the car going to go? So yeah, this is all research grant rubbish. People playing around with it because they can. It's got no real world application. Certainly, they're not going to be able to do this with 5G to the general populace. This is all absolute drivel. Okay, let's get rid of that one. Popular Mechanics got to say about it. Government accidentally releases documents on psychoelectric weapons. Okay. See, the trouble is a lot of people that read this stuff don't understand what they're reading. This is, I think, the bottom line here. You know, they're talking about ELF and VLF waves. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. They were mistakenly sent to a journalist. Yeah, okay. Special attention to genital area, itching, forced orgasm and intense pain. Yeah, that'd be useful, wouldn't it, on the battlefield? The government has all kinds of secrets, but only a true conspiracy theorist might suspect that psychoelectric weapons are one of them. So it's odd that Muckrock, a news organisation that specialises in filing Freedom of Information Act requests, received mysterious documents about mind control seemingly by accident. You got responses to questions he asked, but also a file titled EM Effects on Human Body. Inside were documents like this. Again, you know, this has got nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. Nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. So you can go to any radio tower, any communications or broadcasting site, and it's going to say, you know, do not proceed beyond this point, electromagnetic radiation, because it can do things, do nasty things to your body. Again, what have we got here? If it's of sufficient amplitude, you know, 5G won't be, of course. You'd give yourself more brain damage using a handheld UHF CB radio. You know, you hold it up to your face to talk into it. They're usually 1 watt or 5 watts, something like that. Much longer wavelengths. That's going to penetrate your head. It will go straight through your head, unlike 5G, very short wavelengths. So 5G, a lot more safer than UHF CB handheld radios. So, okay, so you've got motor control cortex, 10 Hz, 15 Hz, 25 Hz, 9 Hz, 20 Hz. Again, this is because people don't understand any of this stuff. What's this? Mass and individual remote mind control via mobile phone network. This is just paranoid codswallop. Individual group remote mind control via black helicopters carrying psychotronic weapons. Absolute nonsense. It's drivel. I mean, all these low frequencies are, you know, if you were bombarded by these low frequencies in some sort of special chamber at very high power levels, you might get some sort of effect, but certainly nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. If you modulate these low frequencies onto 5G, again, the 5G is the microwave carrier wave is not going to penetrate your head, so these low frequencies are never going to get through your skull, modulated onto 5G signals. This is rubbish. Yeah, human brain waves again, you know, lots of numbers here, it's all meaningless. May very well be true, but I mean, it's got nothing whatsoever to do with 5G, uses of 5G. Oh, here we go. At least some of the images appear to be part of an article in Nexus magazine. Describing a 1992 lawsuit brought by one John Sinclair, a Kiwi, against the NSA. A Kiwi claimed that the NSA had the ability to assassinate US citizens covertly or run covert psychological control operations that caused subject to be diagnosed with ill mental health and was documented their alleged methods. Nexus was and still is an Australian magazine focused on the unexplained, conspiracy theories, alternative medicine and the like, and it's all rubbish, of course. I was unable to get hold of him to trying to get hold of this guy. He firmly but kindly told me that he could not speak about anything to do with the case over the phone and hung up. Reads an editor's note at the end of the article. Yeah, well, you know, it's they probably just told him to go away and behave. You know, you look at all the stuff that's going on around the world. If you could control people, we have mind control equipment. Wouldn't the Israelis be mind controlling a lot of Arabs all around their borders, telling them not to keep firing rockets into Israel? Vice versa. What's all this stuff going on in Hong Kong at the moment? You just turn on a device to And in Paris, you know, turn on a device to get rid of all these crowds, just control them all to just shut up and go home. Don't see any of that, do you? So it's all science fiction hogwash, and it's got nothing whatsoever to do with 5G. Nothing. There's a few videos here. That's what the military... I'm not going to go through the videos. I think I'll just okay this comment. You can look at it if you fancy a laugh, but it's all rubbish. I don't even need to look at these videos to know it's going to be rubbish, having looked at these articles. This is what the military have been working on, and I personally do not want a grid across the country that could be used to influence the human brain or be used to kill a person if they become a problem for the state. Well, I don't think they'd need to... If a person became a problem for the state, there's a lot far more cheaper, quicker ways of doing it than mucking around with all this stuff. So yeah, okay. I think I'll okay that. Let's approve that, and I'll post this video. And then we got another guy here called Illuminati Socrates. This is interesting. Internet poses human health risks. Scientists question safety of untested 5G technology. International conference, and this, read more. I probably won't bother, actually. I'm just going to okay it and let you read it. You can read it if you want. The ADS, non-lethal directed energy weapon, projects a very short duration in the order of a few seconds focus beam, millimeter waves, a frequency of 95 gigahertz. Yes, well, that's right. The active denial system, the ADS, no comparison whatsoever between the ADS and 5G. The ADS uses a device called a gyrotron to generate 100,000 watts of microwave energy at 95 gigahertz. Nothing like these 250 milliwatt 5G transmitters. These low power transmitters, some of them might not be in the milliwatt range, but they're certainly not going to be in the kilowatts or hundreds of kilowatts range. It's nonsense. The UK will face 66 to 71 gigs at the high end. Yeah, but again, you know, the higher the frequency, the less it's going to penetrate your body, so the safer it's going to be. Oh, there's a load of stuff here. I'll probably, yeah, I'll okay this one as well. I can't be bothered to read all of this, to be perfectly honest, but let's approve it and see if it generates. Let's approve it, see if it generates any comments. But yeah, I'll just upload this video. But there's an awful lot of this paranoid hogwash about 5G. This was these two guys left some comments on my video. What is Mark Steele really measuring in Wickham? And the questions I'll be asking is: do any of these guys have mobile phones? You know, doesn't Mark Steele have 2 mobile phones? Why isn't, if it's mind control, why isn't he being mind controlled to shut up about it, or anyone else being told to shut up about it? There's no mind control there. The riots in Paris, no one's using mind control there to get everyone to go home, put their sticks and put their baseball bats down and go home. Same in Hong Kong. It's nonsense. And the shorter the wavelengths, the less penetrating power it has. That's a fact. So you know, as you go up into the gigahertz range, the much smaller wavelengths are not going to penetrate your body. They're not going to penetrate your skull anywhere near as badly as the anywhere near to the extent that 4G, 3G, CDMA, all the previous generations of mobile phone systems would do. And if you use handheld radios with your job, you might use a UHF walkie-talkie with your job. You hold it up to your face. You're radiating a few watts of UHF straight through your head. Much longer wavelength, goes straight through your head, no problem at all. 5G won't do that. So they're even having to cut trees down because 5G won't even penetrate leaves. So yeah, I really wouldn't worry about it. I'd have a 5G phone in a heartbeat. I wouldn't worry about it at all. So there you go. All right, well, I think that'll do. This is just because a couple of people left me some, comments with loads of links there, and I thought, well, they've gone to all the trouble to put these links on there, so I'll have a quick look at it, and I'll see if I'll post the comments or just put them in the bin. But yeah, I'll let those comments go, and you can read them and have a bit of a chuckle. As always, thanks for watching. Perhaps I'll catch you again.